Hello, friends. Today I'm going to delve into Dalit narratives. Literature has always played a powerful role in the representation and denunciation of systemized oppression and injustice. It has been an effectual means of stirring upheavals, and this fact is evident in the social movements like Dalit Liberation Movement. Caste system has been structured in India from the Vedic times and plays a central role in the social structure. Each caste had a specific place in the hierarchy of social status. The privileged sections of the society were referred as upper caste, while the disadvantaged sections were called the lower caste. Traditionally, there are four principal castes, namely Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. Dalits, also known as untouchables, are literally outcasts, a fifth caste or Varna who still suffer odious discrimination at the hands of the upper caste members. Dalit literature breaks away from the narrow confines of regional and national boundaries and can be considered as a universal narrative of protest. The term Dalit was first used in 1958 at the first ever conference of Dalit literature in Bombay. Its aim was to dissect the angst of servitude inflicted by the Varna system or caste system. Renowned writer Mohandas Namishri defined Dalit literature as literature of suffering and struggles. He remarked that Dalit literature is not only for Dalits but for all those who are struggling against atrocities. Thus, the word Dalit encapsulates the idea of bringing together all those who have been facing exploitation and deprivation. Babasaheb Ambedkar focused on the transformative power of literature and urged novelists to write on themes that promoted humanistic ethics as he realized that no societal movement could grow stronger unless it generated its own literary tradition. He advised, through your literary creations, cleanse the stated values of life and culture. Don't have a limited objective. Transform the light of your pain so that the darkness of villages is removed. Do not forget that in our country, the world of Dalits and the ignored classes is extremely large. Get to know intimately their pain and sorrow and try through your literature to bring progress in their lives. True humanity resides there. The kernel of a Dalit perception is evident in the poems and songs of saints and devotional poets. The poem of Hiradom, the first Dalit piece of writing, exposes this repressive social atrocity. The epoch publications of Baba Sahib archives the repression, the atrocities faced by the lower stratum of the society. The progressive ideas of Jyotirao Phule and the scholarly leadership of B.R. Ambedkar inspired Dalit writings in Marathi and pioneered an awakening against caste system. But there were other voices equally strong and effective that helped to set this movement in motion, like Mukta Salve, Om Prakash Valmiki, and Savitri Bai Phule. Mukta Salve, or also known as Muktabai, studied at a school in Pune founded by Savitri Bai and Jyotiba Phule. She wrote an essay about the grief of monks and Mahars in 1855 when she was just 14 years of age. This piece was later translated into English and published in the works of Susi Taru and K. Lalita in 1991. It is probably the earliest surviving piece of writing by a Mang woman and untouchable. Through her vivid and acerbic polemic, she confidently addresses the Pandits, the high caste Brahmin priests, As, O learned pundits, wind up the selfish prattle of your hollow wisdom and listen to what I have to say. Through her writing, she raises the voice of those who are marginalized and voices the need of her community to rise against the discomfiture of myriad forms of violence, torture, and subjugation. But her work goes far beyond simply documenting the practices prevalent during that time. It was a clarion call to surge forward and carve out a new path amidst the derision and contempt of upper castes. The grief of Mahar and Mangs highlights the carnage unleashed against the Mahar and Mang communities. She analyzes how the upper caste Brahmins manipulated religion to control the power structure within the society by depriving the monks of their basic necessities. Mukta bemoans the predicament of the subaltern voices suppressed by the privileged sections of the society. She opines, the Brahmins have degraded us so low, they consider people like us even lower than cows and buffaloes. Did they not consider us even lower than donkeys? You beat a lame donkey, and his master retaliates. But who was there to object the thrashing of the Mahars and Mangs? Mukta questioned the authenticity of Hinduism, a religion she had no access to but was expected to follow. She states, if one attempts to refute on the basis of Vedas the argument of these Brahmins who consider themselves to be superior to us and hate us, they counter that the Vedas are their own property. She remarks in her essay, teach us, O God, your true religion, so that we all can lead our lives according to it. Let that religion, where only one person is privileged and the rest deprived, perish from the earth. And let it never enter our minds to be proud of such a religion. Muktabai writes to embody the struggle and encapsulates the pain, the indignity which the community suffered as untouchables. The misery of the monks, especially the affliction of women, is elucidated when Muktabai remarks, when our women give birth to babies, they do not even have a roof over their heads. How they suffer in rain and cold. Please try to understand it from your own experience. If they get some disease whilst giving birth, where will they get money for the doctor or for medicines? Who will be human enough to treat such people free of cost? So, years of oppression and subjugation made the monks reticent and docile. And Mukta, as the torchbearer of her community, seems to cry out in anguish. Mukta believed that gaining knowledge could shift these power structures and create a better future for the Dalit communities. She opined, O Mahars and monks, you are poor and sick. Only the medicine of knowledge will cure and heal you. In the poem titled Go Get Education, Savitri Bai Phule writes, be self-reliant, be industrious, work, gather wisdom and riches. All gets lost without knowledge. We become animals without wisdom. Sit idle no more. Go get education. End misery of the oppressed and forsaken. You've got a golden chance to learn. So learn and break the chains of caste. So the Dalit narrative is thus a clarion call to the oppressed sections of the society to unite and fight for their constitutional rights. Let us remove the manacles of casteism and pray like Tagore into that heaven of freedom. Let my country awake. A country that promotes socio-economic emancipation to all its citizens. Thank you.